What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great day and welcome to the channel. Well, unfortunately, very much unfortunately, today is the last day we are with this beautiful 2022 TRD Pro, and I want to end it right. I want to get this thing out on the highway real quick and talk about some of the characteristics of this truck out there at higher speeds. One thing I've always said in my past TRD Pro Tundras is the suspension. It's meant for high-speed desert racing, but it is also amazing out there on the highway. Now, I want to test the suspension out there, especially now because there's a brand new everything with this truck. New frame, new platform, completely ground-up remodel. So I really want to see not just how this platform and suspension perform, but this hybrid engine. I want to see not just, how it keeps speed, the passing stuff, but I want to see if I take my time and throw it in eco mode, can I get the truck to push really good MPG? As you can see in my other view right now, you are now seeing the screen. This is the vehicle information with the trip we're about to be on. It will show the graph and it will show, how we're doing on MPG at that exact moment in real time. And we will see pretty much what this truck can do just as per what the truck is saying. Also, with doing what we're doing right now, I'm going to try eco mode, sport mode maybe a little bit, mostly normal, just to show you all of the different options this truck has right here. So let's get out there. All right, so we're getting up onto the parkway now. And once again, we're going to see how this truck does. We're going around the entry ramp right now. One thing I have said a few times in my time with this truck, the truck is always very grounded, especially in the turns. So let's see if we can merge up onto the highway here and see how this hybrid feels. We're in normal mode right now, by the way. There's a little bit of traffic, nothing too crazy, so the merge, no problem. And let's get up to speed. The fed-in sound in the JBL sounds like the TRD dual exhaust. We're up now at speed. It gets up to speed really quick. And now we will get the overall feel for the truck. As you can see by my current MPG status, when I put my foot on the pedal and I just cruise, we're just over 30 MPG real time, right around 30 floating. Once again, this is in normal mode. One thing I want you guys to keep in mind when it comes to this truck, and I think a lot of people don't really know this, this is a hybrid, twin turbo V6 hybrid, but this hybrid is tuned for power, for torque, for things like towing. This isn't necessarily your Prius type hybrid where it's tuned for great MPG. Through this week with the truck, I've been driving it, we'll say very spiritedly, okay? This is a fun powertrain to play around with, but I've been driving it, kind of hard, kind of like it owes me money. And my MPG for the week has been about 15.5, 15.6. So for a hybrid, that might not be the best thing if you're thinking of it in the way of MPG. This truck has just over 2,000 miles on it. It is a press vehicle, so it's still fairly new. It's not necessarily broken in yet. But at the end of the day, you really gotta think about what you're trying to buy the vehicle for. If I was out there with my 5.7 liter V8 TRD Pro doing the same stuff, driving it the same way I was driving this hybrid in the week where I was getting 15.5, I'd probably be getting around 11 MPG. So the MPGs are better even when driving it a little bit harder. Now, if I was out here hypermiling it, kind of like I'm doing right now, I'm sure I could get that number way, way up. But you got to keep that in mind when you're talking about this hybrid engine. And if you feel like you want to spend the money, the extra money, on a hybrid powertrain, because this hybrid right here adds about $3,000 to $4,000 to the sticker versus the regular iForce engine. So please keep that in mind. But overall, let's talk about the feel of this TRD Pro right now. It's exactly what I expected on the highway. We got a little bit of a crosswind, but the truck is very planted, very centered into the lane, into the road. I don't feel like I have to put a lot of input into the steering wheel, which is awesome. Going from the old gen to the new gen, it really just feels like a lot of it, the truck is a lot tighter than it's ever been. It gets down the road real nice. The suspension rides over the bumps real good. We have the TRD front sway bar on this. So, it doesn't feel jittery or anything like that. The truck just feels like kind of just hold the steering wheel and keep it in the direction you want to go, and there's not a lot of sway, there's not a lot of stuff going on as far as extra movement. It's kind of, the whole truck is working to get itself down the road. This new platform all the way through, the frame, the suspension, all of it rides really nice, very comfortable. This truck would be amazing as a long drive type truck if you're going on a trip or something like that. Very comfortable. Linear is the other theme that we talked about this week with this truck, and you know, everything about it is just clean. You don't even feel the transmission shift. The minute you put your foot down on the gas pedal, the truck is gone. It doesn't, no turbo lag, it doesn't think about what it's doing. It just gets down the road really nice. So I'm slowing down a little bit as if a car was slow in front of me, and if I was to pass it, I put my foot back down and you hear it. And we're back up to speed, and it sounds awesome with the JBL fed-in sound. That is something people may have to get used to. You know, this is a dual outlet single exhaust. This is a 6-cylinder truck now, so that sound is fed in from the JBL sound system, and again, it sounds like that TRD dual exhaust, that good growl, which is really, really awesome. Okay, just threw the truck in sport mode. We are getting back onto the highway. We did a little turnaround there. So in sport mode, you can really hear the fed-in exhaust sound a lot more. So now let's get up to speed and see how it feels. Oh, it's pulling me back into the seat right now. Yeah. You really have to drive this hybrid powertrain in the Tundra. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. It's a different kind of feeling if you've never driven a hybrid before, especially a hybrid like this that's tuned for power. It's just an amazing feeling of instant power. It just blows my mind. We got up to speed there, absolutely no problem whatsoever. So that's something that you may want to, you know, look into. As you could see there, the truck has no issues getting up to speed from a dead stop. You know, if you're having to join some kind of an entry ramp into a highway, you know, an expressway, and you got to get up to speed real quick, this powertrain is going to get you up to speed extremely quick. Once again, and I want to stress, I'm going to keep repeating this, if you've never driven a hybrid that's tuned like this one, you really, really should. So real quick, I'm gonna switch out of sport mode and I'm gonna go into eco mode. And in case you don't know, there's a little turn knob down here. It says drive mode, which is selected right now. And I just turned it into eco mode. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cruise. A lot of traffic around me. I'm sure you can see that on the camera. As you could see, my screen just went bright because the sun is now coming up. But you know, it's morning rush hour, so I'm just staying in the right lane, taking it easy. And as you can see by my graph, my MPG is hanging out around 20 MPG right now. So I'm sure achieving low 20s in this truck, if you wanted to, is absolutely plausible. But when you get behind the wheel of this, especially in the beginning, you're probably going to want to drive it like you stole it. I mean, it's just an amazing experience to drive it, especially with something like the Pro trim under it. This is a very much a fun truck. So that is my little trip on the highway. We did about 15 miles. Right now I'm at a stoplight, and now we're on the battery. And as you can hear, it's completely quiet. The biggest thing to get used to in this truck is how quiet it is. Even when the engine is on, it's a V6, so it's not very loud. There you go, the engine kicks back on. But when the battery's running, it's dead silent. So in coming from these trucks, you know, these V8s all these years, and going to something like this, you know, more of a modern technology forced induction setup, the noise is something, or the lack thereof noise, is something you're gonna have to get used to. But as you can see on my history that I reset before I took this little highway trip, it is showing that we're about 16.9 in MPG. So with the hybrid, you know, the more you take your time with it, the more you're going to get, you know, more out of the engine if you're in it for MPGs. For me, and everybody's different. I work very close to home. I want to have fun when I drive my vehicle. The drivability of a vehicle is very, very important to me as far as enjoying it. As you can see, as we are pulling up to end this trip, 17.3 MPG is what it is showing. Okay, so it's showing 17.4 miles traveled in 33 minutes, and our fuel economy was 17.1. So you'll have to let me know what you think. Like I said, in this truck through the week, I was getting about I could probably take these off now. I was getting about 15.5 to 15.6 MPG. So we were able to get that number up a little bit when we started to do some, you know, hypermiling and taking our time, eco mode. And this is just a basic test. You know, when I get my truck, we'll do some real, you know, pump to pump calculations and see everything with that, especially as the engine breaks in. But this was just an overall video today to show you what it is like on the highway, not just MPG stuff, but the overall feel of the truck. Is there body roll? Is there brake dive? Does the truck get up to speed, maintain speed? How does it feel as far as steering? Maneuverability around traffic and everything. And the truck did obviously fantastic. You know, so far this new platform, especially with the hybrid in it, is, you know, really wowing me. And I didn't expect that. So every time I take it into a new situation, you know, I'm pleasantly surprised by what we're getting, especially coming from the last generation, which I love very much. This is the way that Toyota is moving their, you know, obviously Tundra truck forward, and I'm happy to be a part of it and test driving these fine vehicles and picking them apart with the pros and cons. I really didn't have many cons out there on the highway. It wasn't a long trip. It was about a half hour long, but I had a crosswind, and that's a good telltale on how a truck acts, you know, when there's a wind coming across the road like that. And it did fine. It didn't feel like, you know, the truck wanted to move. Did I feel the wind a little bit? Sure. But it didn't feel like the truck was, you know, trying to move out of the lane. Everything about this platform, this is something that you guys will be rolling your eyes at this point, because I say it over and over. Everything with this platform works together to get you down the road the best way possible, the most efficient way possible. It's such a fun truck to drive. I hope you guys get to experience it. And the good part is the TRD Pro will be very hard to get, but the good part is the hybrid is available in limited and up. So you might have an option to get it, but I hope everyone could get a test drive and feel what I felt out there. The Fox suspension does a great job. One thing I was looking to see was how this Fox suspension did on the new generation body, on the new platform, on the new frame, versus the 5.7, which the Fox suspension on the old gen does fantastic on that too. I was pleasantly surprised when I bought my 2020 how good it did. But this suspension did fantastic. The tires weren't noisy. This is a different tire now with this generation. You know, it wasn't like there was a lot of tire noise coming in. There was not any wind noise in the truck. The acoustics in here are fantastic. The seat is very comfortable. I kept saying on that ride how good this truck would be for a long trip. I could tell from the bolstering up, you know, around my, you know, stomach and down by my thighs. It really puts you down into the seat a lot more than the older gen trucks, and it feels more like a racing seat now, and that just promotes a very comfortable, happy ride to wherever you may go. So this truck will be a long travel truck for sure, and it'll be a lot of fun. But that's all I have to say today. Let me know what you think about this truck. It was a pleasure having it. We're not done with videos. We have a couple more videos to do about this truck. I got to summarize my feelings of the week, but overall, many pros to talk about on the highway today. Cons, I don't really have many at all. It's a lot of fun to drive. It's fun in normal. It's fun in sport. Eco's there, you know, if we want to do some hypermiling, but you know, there's just, you have the options, and that's good. And that's good with this current stuff that they come out with now, is you have options to put it in a mode that you would like to put it in and drive it the way you want. So if you want to drive the truck, and this is something I haven't said enough this week too, and this will be in the next video, when you want to drive this truck fun, it'll drive fun. When you want to drive it nice and easy, it's a nice quiet truck. It's a nice comfortable truck. So big high five to Mike Swears and the team and Toyota on what they've done with this. But on the highway, it was A-okay. Obviously, we need more seat time on the highway, not just a quick little 30-minute trip. I want to go and, you know, drive it up into the mountains and stuff like that. Everything around here in New Jersey is very flat. I want to go up into the mountains. How does it, you know, when you're going up those elevations, how does it get up those hills? Does it struggle? Does the transmission have issues shifting to where it needs to be? All those questions will be answered going forward. But until next time, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TundraDude34, TundraDude34@gmail.com. Let me know what you think about this truck and today's trip on the highway. Were you happy with it? Is the hybrid something you're interested in? Or is the TRD Pro in general something you're interested in? Can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. Be safe, be well. I'll talk to you soon.